get straight into this. All right, so why did I shave my head? It's actually not even that deep. Why did I shave my head? Okay, so okay. So why shave my head? Now listen, my YouTube will not be a bunch of weird things or strange things and me trying to farm it for content. Okay, that's something I need to make clear. I want to be as open, as transparent as possible, and in doing so, I hope you can understand where I'm going with this. So let me rewind the clock to around 2 years ago, because now we're in 2026. So 2 years ago, it's 2024, and I go to Umrah, which is, you know, the Islamic pilgrimage to Mecca, Medina. And what happens there is you're supposed to shave your hair, not the mustache. The mustache is another story. And that's how you complete this pilgrimage, right? You shave the head. And I didn't have an issue shaving my head, but my cousin, who had long hair, he was so adamant on doing what you can do, which is just trim some. But the better thing to do is shave. And you know, I went about trying to convince him, and the group that I was in went about trying to convince him. And I just jumped online. I started doing some research, and I wanted to know, why do we need to shave? Now, there's actually a reason why we shave, but what I found was an interesting point, an interesting line, and it was that by shaving their heads, Muslims are symbolically cutting off their pride and ego and renewing their commitment to living a pious and devout life. In the moment, I found that beautiful. I didn't really look into it. Fast forward into the start of 2026. Obviously, whether you do celebrate New Year's or you don't, it's the end of the year. Everyone's talking about their achievements or their failures, and you're reflecting on what you've done and what you've achieved. And if you didn't have the best year, or you didn't achieve what you wanted to achieve, one must ask themselves, you know, where did I go wrong? What went wrong? And this line right here, renewing their commitment, that point there was where we went wrong, where things didn't go to plan. And it's interesting, because why would you need to remind yourself what you want? It's clear. You want something, you go get it. You chase after it until you get what you're chasing. And we know what we want, but we forget that commitment is rarely lost all at once. Commitment is something that just slowly fades in the background, and you don't pay attention to it. You know, like motivation, you'll wake up one day motivated, and you could not have motivation by afternoon or evening. But commitment, it's just slowly fading away. It's like your physique. You can have a great physique, it slowly, diminishes. You could have a great relationship. You could even have a great material item like your car. And if you don't take care of it, if you don't constantly remind yourself that, hey, I've got a car, hey, I've got a physique to look after, hey, I've got a relationship to take care of, like commitment, they fade away. They become something which you didn't plan to happen. And in summary, our commitment fades through a combination of internal fears and external pressures. We'll have plans, we'll have goals, and they slowly fade based on what's happening in our lives and around us unless we address them. I stopped committing. I had a why, but I didn't have accountability partners. I wasn't in communities. I have a friend who he changed his life, and one of the things he kept trying to get me to do was to commit to networking, to commit to joining these communities, these groups where you would meet like-minded people who would sort of bump you up, tell you, hey, stay committed. What have you done? What have you achieved? Constantly bring these things up with you. Routines. Right now, this year, he's called me up. He said, hey, I want an accountability partner. And tomorrow we're going to do a recovery session. He's reminding me, I'm reminding him, I didn't have this. I had him, but I didn't take part in what he advised me in taking part of, to ensure I maintain that commitment to my goals. And worst of all, this is probably my biggest negative, and maybe yours, we don't celebrate our small wins to maintain momentum. You can put 100% effort. You can put your foot on the gas as much as you want. If you don't stop to fill up petrol, you run out of petrol. You'll get the signals that you're burning out. You'll get the signals that you're running out. And you might think you can keep on showing up and keep on doing what you're trying to do. At the end of the day, all humans are human. And we are all subject to these things unless we do what we need to do. And if you don't want to do this, or you think, no, I don't need this, this is what separates us from the extremely successful and wealthy people. They do this. And if they do it because it works. And if they do it because it's gotten them to where they wanted to go. And that's where we want to be, most successful of people. And the second worst thing, I did not adapt flexibility or prepare for when challenges arise so that I don't compromise. You see, I made this script and everything, and I put it in ChatGPT to check if my script was good. And it told me that I should remove some of these parts, but I'm not going to remove any of these parts. I'm going to leave them. So worst of all was that I did not adapt flexibility or prepare for when challenges arise so that I don't compromise. Guys, you need to prepare for things to not go to plan. You need to prepare for when the plan fails, when you don't wake up early, when you don't wake up on time, when your friend doesn't pull through, when the person you're relying on doesn't pull through, when you don't trust yourself, when you don't feel motivated. You got to prepare for these moments. And if you don't, then you end up compromising. And every time you compromise, your brain learns quitting is safe. I made that video last week where I spoke about how the raw egg momentum, every time we get into these internal fears, these external pressures, and we compromise, we tell our brain that it's okay to quit, it's okay to take the easy way out. We don't turn to motivation in these moments. We didn't turn these bad moments, into disciplined action, where it was just like, hey, sack the motivation. I need to do what a disciplined person does. So that brings me back to this topic here. Why did I shave my head? Honestly, looking at the start of a year, and you might be able to relate to this, if last year was bad and you just feel like you're stuck somewhere, your head's just like got a whole bunch of brain fog and you got so much going on, you don't know where to sift through, you just want to reset, just shave your head. I researched, I looked into it. You know how many there are cultures and traditions use shaving your head to symbolize like being reborn? And that wasn't what pushed me. What pushed me was what I discovered in Umrah, that shaving your head symbolically renews your commitment to living a pious and devout life. And I feel that being a Muslim, that is the goal. Our commitment in living this pious and devout life needs to consistently be renewed. So for my goals, I was like, you know what? Let me shave my head, start fresh, this start of 2026, and then let me start including this reconnect and reframe, structure, action, rewards, mindset. Let me just start from scratch. So that's why I shaved my head. Okay? I just wanted a big reset. I wanted a big slap in the face, something to wake me up. And honestly, since shaving my head, I've probably got more done today than I normally would with hair. So maybe it's because I shaved the head and the moustache. Anyway, that's why I shaved my head.